Day 1581, brother. What's going on? Dum 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 dum. Anywho, last day of the state visit of old Charlie Boy and El Trumpo, the orange squash man, little rat. Anywho, yeah. So today. My word. So managed to get to bed in not in good time this morning, but in time, I guess. Woke up bright and early and I felt like exactly like how I expected to feel. I aimed to get up for 6. I think I maybe got up a little bit before that. And I looked at the time and I was like, okay, it was maybe like 5 or 10 minutes to 6. And I was like, oh, screw this. I'm just going to get a few extra minutes. I'll get up around 6 o'clock. And then obviously the 5 or 10 minutes passed. And then it was like a few minutes past. And I was like, okay, well, that's not too bad. I can maybe lie down for another couple of minutes. And then eventually it started pushing to like 15, 20 past, half past. I think it was bordering on like 1:45, and then I was like, flip, no, you know what, I actually need to get up because I think the room that had been booked in the other building, the building that I was going to, the fancy building, the room was booked for like 9 o'clock, and I was like, knowing me, I'm not getting there for 9, I'm probably getting there closer to 10, but just so long as I get there for around about 10ish, that should be all right. But the aim was to get there for like maybe 9, half 9. Honestly, getting up was a mission. I hated nearly every minute of it. Even when I started to feel less tired, I was like, oh, screw this, man. Screw this. But again, this is how it goes. Like, I hate the process of the getting up and the getting ready and the leaving out and getting on the public transport. But then obviously as the day progresses, my body starts to acclimatise and I wake up a bit more. I kind of settle into things a bit. I think the one thing that did help was the weather was actually really nice today. It wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. It was like proper, we're talking baby bear's porridge, near enough. So yeah, man, got out and was definitely running late. And I was like, there will be no Uber getting at all. So I resisted, made my way to the station, got there, and yeah, walked when I came out of the station because the actual office is not that far from the station. So yeah, walked there, and it's a nice little walk, and I passed a few shops because it was still early for me anyways. There was a bunch of shops that weren't open, some that had only just opened, and a bunch of like food stalls as well, because obviously it's basically up in the city. There was a bunch of these kind of food stalls that are like lined up just going down the road. I mean, there's loads and across various roads, but this one particular road I was walking down, there's a bunch of food stalls and there were like vans in front, so I guess it was the vans belong to the food stall, so obviously they drive their van down there and then unpack everything, set up their food stall. Obviously it was still early, so they're all setting up, and I was just looking at them. There's just a variety. Obviously they're there to capture the city people, and obviously they go on their lunch and breaks. And I was tempted to maybe try and wander back out, but I didn't in the end. But again, mental note made, I'm gonna have to be checking out that area on another day, definitely. But yeah, got to the building. I was a little bit what's the word? It's slightly intimidated, a little bit nervous, just because again, like this building's proper in it. It's proper. It's official. You've got a lot of the big senior people who are kind of based there. I often feel out of place when I go in there just because, I feel my little low level self probably doesn't have much business being in these big proper places where real proper high level people do real proper high level work, But yeah, we went in there and it was cool. I actually did the wrong process initially, but it got sorted out in the end. I was actually going about things the long way. It was only when I showed one of the security guards my pass, they're like, "Oh no, you don't have to do all of this. Just go around there. We'll get you through quick." So that was nice. I was able to actually find, because it's a big old building, loads of floors as well. I thought I was going to struggle finding the meeting room, but luckily it was really close to where you like came out of the lift and all that. And it was a good day, man. It was actually a really good day. We managed to cover a good few things, and managed to actually, because we're doing a kind of presentation, or well, actually not quite a presentation. Well, okay, somewhere between a presentation and taking votes for motions. There's basically a conference that's happening, and votes need to be made on these motions that the union is going to carry forward. So we're doing this presentation to our members, and they will vote on the motions that they want to support or not support. So we are basically just going through, well, who's doing what for the motion / presentation thing, which is next week Thursday. So obviously we normally meet up face to face. It's every couple of months, but obviously so we thought we'd do it today, which is why we went to this different building as opposed to our own building. And yeah, obviously we'll be meeting up face to face again next week, obviously, to do the thing. But yeah, everyone's got their roles. I'm going to be the polling master, so I'll be putting up the polls so people can actually vote on whether they support it, don't support it, blah blah blah. It's a good few motions, 23, I think. Some of them are flipping long as well. And I think we've only got an hour to do this, which sounds like a long time, but given how long some of the motions are, and you got to read through the whole thing, you're not allowed to summarize them as well. You have to read through the entire motion word for word, and then you have to give people time to vote. And also we're potentially going to be doing like a Q&A as well. So it sounds like a long time, but honestly it's not. I think I did the maths, and if you've got an hour and you've got 23 motions, that gives you about just over 2.5 minutes per motion. I think it will balance out, but some of them, if you're reading them, you're probably reading them for like all 3 minutes. Some of them are chunky. But yeah, we ran through. It was all good. Managed to have a good talk, good laughs. Managed to walk around the building a little bit. They got a bloody canteen in there, which, again, for many people in their workplaces, that's not a big deal. Many workplaces have canteens. But honestly, the best thing we have, if you don't go outside of the workplace to try and find food elsewhere, not to say that there are even that many options, there are a few, but not that many, and they're not amazing. The best thing we have in our office is a vending machine, which we had to fight to get as the union. We were pushing to get a bloody vending machine for time. It took so flipping long, man. So to compare our measly little vending machine to a full-blown canteen and other little, there's a place where you can just get like snacks, coffee, tea, sandwiches, cold drinks, the pre-made sandwiches. Then there's another station where like a little salad bar. There's another station where you can get like, I think, loaded jacket potatoes and freshly made sandwiches and paninis. And then you've got the proper area where you get the hot food. And they have a menu that changes each day, and they got the menu up. And again, I know for many places it's a standard thing, I think, particularly in the private sector. I dare say in the private sector it's probably even better than where I was at today. But again, it's just a comparison. Like, the place I'm at it's a flipping joke, bruv. It's an absolute joke, and even more of a joke because one of the other regional offices in the place that I work for, so we've got the London office, one of the other regional offices, they had a new building that was custom built for them, specifically purpose built, custom built for their wants and needs. I actually went up there to visit. Gorgeous building. They have a canteen there. It's like a very, very mini version of where I was at today. But still, when I went there, I was like, yo, you got a canteen? Oh my lord,
Riley was
bruv.
another bill that was taken up in the
Yeah.
House. It was a
And we
bill
were all
for
saying, like, we're just
2 years. The
gonna
authorization
be
of this
mad depressed when we go back
divisive
into the
U.S.
office. For me, it's
surveillance
tomorrow. I
program is
think
called
a bunch of the other
FISA, which
union lot
was
is
due to
tomorrow as well.
expire
So
Friday.
just gonna be going
That's
back and be
not
like,
the end
oh,
of the road, is it? Because
back
this bill
here,
still
man.
has to go to the Senate. How
But the
likely do you
one
think it is that
thing we have
lawmakers
said
there
is,
will pass
which,
this
you know, I
extension?
think it was spoken about before, but
So the Senate
obviously
ultimately did pass
it
a
was
45-day extension to FISA, which
the
was
main
also then
guy,
passed in the House.
the
So that
main
is
leader in
happening.
our
The program has been
union
extended
group
another 45 days.
had spoken about
It's
going to this
unclear to
office
me
before
if
to have
after
our
45 days, I
face-to-face
don't know where that
meetings.
puts us into, I guess,
And I was
June.
saying, and them lot
If
was saying,
lawmakers will
well,
be
if
able to band
whenever we
together
meet
and
up in
pass yet
person,
another extension,
there's
this
no
is
need
a
for us to
very
be meeting up at our
controversial
office. Why the hell are we going there
program
when
for
we can
both
come here?
Republicans
Because we
and
can come here.
Democrats.
We did.
Republicans,
And
conservatives
we
are
are
concerned
eligible
about
to basically
voter
come
range
back
to
here. So
American
why not?
flags. This is a
And I
key
think there are
baseline
some
power.
other
And some
offices that we
Democrats
can
share
actually
that
go to.
concern. So it's
So it might be
challenging
worth
to
exploring
get
other ones.
long-term
But this one that
authorization
we
for
went
this,
to
which is
was
why it
the main
ultimately
one,
pushed
the
some of
hub.
the short-term stopgap
So
to
we're
get everyone
definitely
on the
coming
same
back, man.
page.
Oh
But
my lord.
this
I'll
will
just go
continue
back
to
for the
be a
canteen,
massive
bro. But
headache for Speaker Mike
just even the
Johnson,
layout,
other
like
key intelligence leaders, and
it's
we'll
very
continue to be watching
nicely
that.
built. It
And
looks
Riley, let's
nice.
talk
It
about
looks
the fallout from
professional.
yesterday's big
You know,
Supreme Court ruling striking down one
very
of
very
Louisiana's
chic,
congressional maps.
very
It feels like we're already
modern, but in a
seeing
nice
fallout
way.
from
You
that. In
know,
fact,
not
Louisiana
cold
said that
modern
it's
where it
going
has
to
no
be
character.
delaying its primaries in order
Um,
to
and
redraw
big old wide
new
windows that let
maps and add
loads of
things ahead
light
of the
in as well,
midterms.
which
Right,
our
and
flipping office
Democrats are saying
doesn't.
that they're
It's
going to
just
push
very kind of
Democrats to use the
cold,
courts as
bright,
their first
harsh,
purpose with the Supreme Court
clinical
ruling, so there's nowhere
lighting.
to
You feel
appeal the
like you're in a
decision,
bloody
but they're going to
doctor's
do what they
surgery, man.
can.
It's horrible.
Democrats are also concerned about the
Um,
implications of
so
states
yeah,
outside of Louisiana,
that is the
including
plan to
Alabama, South
come
Carolina.
back.
I talked to
Perhaps the
senatorial
next
candidate
face-to-face meeting,
Ralph
maybe.
Norman, a Republican from
So yeah,
South
man,
Carolina, who said
it was
he
good.
sees
It was
this
a
as
good
a
old
green
day, and
light
then
to
obviously because I
pursue
started in the
redistricting
morning,
in
got to
his
finish
state,
up early, so I
in
didn't have to
terms,
come
I
back
guess,
home
of a
and log
state
on as I
legislature,
normally
though.
do.
So
So
this
that
could
was
have
nice. So I got to
wide-ranging
just kind of
impacts.
amble
Democrats
home.
are
Really didn't have to rush.
incredibly upset
I
here on
also went
Capitol Hill,
by my
and we're
old
just going to have to see where this
workplace as
goes.
well.
And just briefly, looking ahead to
The
tomorrow,
work, the place
that's
I was at before
really
I
the
started
60-day
at this
deadline
job
as for
here,
Congress to
and got
approve
to
the
speak
war
with
in
one
Iraq.
of
Do you have a sense at
me old
all of
manager,
how
or
that
one of
might
my old
play out? Could
managers
we
who's
see
still
some
there.
sort of vote
They've
on
actually been
Capitol Hill?
promoted since they're
Well,
actually kind of
Capitol
running the
Hill
show
Congress
now,
has
which is good.
left
But I had a
the
catch up with
program a
them
week
and
or so,
one other
as they
person
alluded
who I
to.
used to
They will not be
didn't work
returning until
alongside,
May
but
12th. So we are
they
not going to see
frequented the
action
place
in all
basically.
likelihood
It
unless he
it
were
was
to
good, man. It was
return,
good to have
which
a
I
nice little
am not
catch up.
anticipating at all.
And then yeah, went
On
shops
Edward
afterwards,
Power's
did my thing, and then
resolution or
ambled
other
on home. And
authorizations
the
for
weather was
military
still
force,
nice,
that was a
very
vote in the Senate
mild.
today.
So
They did
it was
not
good,
reach the
man. It was
60
all
vote
good,
threshold in
you
order to
know.
pass. The House
So yeah,
was
decent day.
there was
But
some
I am
conversation about
tired.
Democrats
I'm
raising that
tired.
again this week
I
in
am
the House.
hungry as
That ultimately
well.
didn't happen due to
Even though
scheduling
I did
issues and
actually have
all the other
some,
myriad issues happening
yeah,
here
I
on
had the
Capitol
food,
Hill.
man, in the
So this is
canteen.
still
It
live
was like a
news.
roast
I
that I
don't think
had.
we're going to see
It's
action
like
on it
roast
all the
chicken,
way until
roast
tomorrow.
potatoes,
Riley,
cauliflower
Robert Sherman,
cheese,
the
just
congressional
nice
reporter for
gravy,
Politico.
a little
Thank you,
stuffing
as always,
ball
for
as
breaking all
well,
of that down for us.
and
Let's bring in our political panel now with me
it's all
here in studio. Doug
subsidized.
Farrer,
Yeah,
former
sorry,
director of
just a
public affairs
backtrack
at the
on
Federal
the
Trade
food as
Commission,
well.
now
It was
founded
like a
the Ways and
plateful. It was
Strategy
a decent
Institute.
amount of
But we'll get
food,
Abdul
you
join
know.
us down the line, former
You weren't
political
like
correspondent
stuffed
for the
after
George
eating
W.
it,
Bush
but you
administration
were
and a
satisfied. A
Republican
plateful of food,
strategist.
and it was all for
Great to
like
have you both here.
£5,
Doug, just to start with you,
a
because you're
bit
here
over
next to me.
£5. Honestly,
The
if I were
HS
to get
bill
that outside
passing
of
the
the office
longest
there,
shutdown in
because obviously,
government
like I said, it was
history
subsidized. If
now
I were to
over.
get that
Does it
amount of
feel to
food
you like the
and quality
Democrats who
wise,
really
outside of the
were
office,
pushing for
minimum
reforms,
double,
they
minimum
anything out of
£10 I'm
this
paying,
partial
probably
shutdown?
closer to 12 or
Maybe a
14
bit
to be
wide,
fair.
but I mean, I think
So
what
yeah,
this showed is that the House GOP really got rolled, right? I
four
mean, they
thumbs
fought and
up.
fought to stop the funding from
Wonderful.
going into effect.
But yeah,
And ultimately,
anywho,
they passed a bill that
so
was
yeah, man,
suggested by a senior House
I'm
appropriator
back home. I
50 days
need to have a
ago
shower. I
to
need
fund
to
all the
eat as well
agency's
because
plans,
I'm
and I
still
spent
a bit
more
hungry.
at Border Patrol. And now
But
the
yeah,
Senate will go back
Oh, and payday today. The money's dropped. The money has officially dropped, and it's looking nice. But I really want to try and conserve. I really don't want to be spending too much because I know what I'm like. I will get carried away, and there's a bunch of things I need to do. A bunch of tickets that I need to get for upcoming festivals.
Where do you think the political rollout will land here? Because this was the longest
The
shutdown
general
we ever
kind of
really
health
saw.
bits that I'm trying to prioritize now, you know, like my supplements, stuff for the scalp and for the hair and all of that. You know, my kind of hygiene bits, you know, soap, and all of that jazz. My mastic gum, which I'm nearly out of, so I need to buy that as well. And all of this stuff is relatively pricey, so yeah, I need to just sit down and think, right, what am I getting? What do I need? What don't I need? Anything I can get in bulk? Can I maybe buy stuff elsewhere, or can I maybe get it cheaper if I, buy this different brand and all of that stuff? Also, one thing, more a kind of negative thing. We'll end it on a negative note. Why not pull myself down a bit? I believe one of my friends who I have met up with a few times doesn't. I met up with them a few times. I don't think they're actually talking to me at the moment. I tried to call them a couple times this week because I think said a few weeks back that because initially I was supposed to meet up with them. Well, I said I was supposed to meet up with them, so no, I wasn't. Basically, okay, no, tell a lie. I was, but then I double booked. And I kind of told them at the last minute. So we're like, okay, cool. Time came round, and the thing I was supposed to do, that got cancelled. So then I actually let them know, oh, I'm actually, I'm... Oh, no, I think I told them that the plan was cancelled. So they were like, oh, cool, yeah, let's meet up. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, possibly. I said, I'll let you know because there's a couple of things happening. I'll need to see if I can sort this and that out. And they're like, oh, that sounds like a no. And I was like, no, not necessarily. And I think they were already out. And I said, oh, I'll maybe let you know in a couple of hours. A couple of hours passed. I didn't let them know within a couple of hours, and time elapsed. And then I think they messaged me back saying, all right, the window to meet up is now closed. I'm back home now. I was like, oh, boo, man. No. And I was like, okay, yeah, but fair enough. All right, we can meet up another time then. Basically, what I was trying to sort out did eventually get sorted out, but just not in the time frame. Now, my bad, I'll hold my hands up. I didn't communicate in good time. Kind of, things fell to the wayside. I still would have been able to meet up with them. It just would have been later than I guess it had initially been wanted or planned. That annoyed them, but we did have a little kind of message back and forth about that. I did apologise and all of that jazz. Now, fast forward, I haven't spoken with them, which is cool. Obviously, they're off doing their own thing. Tried to call them once earlier this week, didn't pick up. It's like, okay, cool, that's not necessarily out of the ordinary. Normally when I do call them, they pick up, but I was like, okay, cool, probably doing stuff. Then I call them again yesterday, I think. Still don't pick up. I was like, okay. Normally I'd get like a message from them. And then today I messaged them like, hello, is anyone there? And then I've seen they've read the message, but they haven't responded. So, again, maybe they've just got stuff going on with them. And I was saying this to myself earlier on today, like, don't be so wrapped up in yourself and so, not narcissistic, but don't be so wrapped up in yourself and think you're so important that, you are the reason as to why they're not communicating with you. It could be something going on with them. Maybe they're just not talking to anyone. Maybe they've got stuff going on. Maybe they just don't feel like talking, But at the same time, I think it still could be me. There could be a specific reason as to why they don't want to. Maybe it's latent stuff to do with that. I don't know for sure. I can only speculate. But of course, me being me, I'm going to assume the worst, and I'm going to assume it's something to do with me or something that I've done wrong, or they're still annoyed about this thing. Or maybe they've just been, whenever they've seen me, it's just kind of brought up these latent feelings that have just gotten really annoyed. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely, if I message them and they see the message, they will almost always respond. So I don't know, man. I'm not 3 times and you're out, not them, but me. Like, I'm not gonna bother them again, man. Like, I've already called twice, I've messaged and been there, done that, got the t-shirt. In terms of just hounding down people, I've kind of learned over the years, like, if you try to get in contact with someone and they don't respond, don't continue to bother them, because it just gets really annoying after a while, and they may really start to dislike or resent you, or maybe not dislike you, but dislike what you're doing, and really be like, yo, listen, can you not tell I don't want to chat to you? Why are you bothering me for? So yeah, I'm gonna leave it. If and or when they want to talk, they know where I am, they can get back to me, but I'm gonna leave it after that. It's a shame, and I'm not even gonna lie, it's definitely made me feel away, but you know, because I don't, if it is indeed something that I've done, aka that thing that I was mentioning, if it is indeed that, like, I don't like upsetting or annoying people, I really don't, and it really bothers me. But again, this is life. Unfortunately, there are many things that can't be avoided, plenty of things that can be avoided, but you will wind people up, assuming that they are wound up, and that they may not. Or maybe they are, maybe it's not me, maybe someone else has wound them up, and they're just, like I said, they're not in a talking mood. Don't know.
Doug, 10 seconds, your thoughts on the King's visit?
But yeah, it is a shame. I mean, I hope they're okay. I'm sure they probably are, but I hope they are okay just overall. But yeah, potentially might just have to wear this L amongst the many others that I have in my back catalogue right now. So yeah, we'll see. And because one of the main reasons I was getting at them this week is because obviously when I'd spoken with them previously, once, you know, we're going to meet up and then weren't going to meet up and then didn't end up happening and all that. One thing that did get said is that, oh, well, you know, we can meet up later on this month, at the end of the month, obviously after payday, because that's when I'll have money. And I did say I've got money coming, so, you know, for them, you know, even if whether they do or don't have money, like, yeah, cool, we can go and do something now. So obviously I was messaging them to touch base, be like, yo, you still going to be about? But I'm going to take this as a no. So, but I guess on the silver lining, or on a positive note, that possibly means I'll be maybe saving a bit of money for this weekend, unless I do still go out and do something, which I'm very tempted to do. But potentially money saved, maybe. We'll see. But anywho, yap. Oh, wait, 22 minutes. Are you mad, bruv? Okay, right, listen, I'm going. This has been a bit of a long one. Yappa. It's quite funny as well, because that person, they're a proper yapper as well, way more than I am. They'd probably be quite proud with this time right here. 23 minutes, you mad? Anywho, we're going to leave it there, man. It's day 1581. I'll catch you tomorrow for day 1582.